Did Muhammad marry a 6-year-old girl? Did he love her more than Khadija? How did Aisha view her husband? I will answer all these questions in this video. The Messenger of God had been married since his youth to a young woman named Khadija. She was his only wife and he loved her very much. After a marriage that lasted 25 years, Khadija died, and after her death, the Prophet lived the saddest days of his life. Everyone was noticing the Messenger's sadness, but they could not do anything because they knew that he loved her very much. She was very special to him because she was the first woman who believed in him, gave him her money, and helped him a lot. A few months after the death of Khadija, the Messenger of God was dreaming strange dreams during his sleep. He was dreaming of Gabriel and with him a beautiful woman wearing a silk dress and a veil over her face, and the Messenger of God was unable to recognize her. The next day, our messenger dreamed again about Gabriel and the same woman with him, and Gabriel was saying to Muhammad, "This is your wife, Muhammad." Our messenger was surprised because he was not waiting for this. Muhammad said to Gabriel, "Reveal her face to me." When the messenger saw her face, he knew that it was Aisha. The Messenger of God said, "If this is God's command, it will certainly happen." Our messenger woke up the next day thinking about the dream he had seen. He knew nothing about Aisha except that she was the daughter of his friend Abu Bakr. Our messenger decided to keep this secret and not tell anyone. Now let me tell you a little about Aisha. Aisha's father is Abu Bakr and her mother, Imran. This means that Aisha did not worship idols at all. Aisha was a very smart and special girl who loved to play and run a lot, and she loved making dolls. In the past, Arabs used to propose to their children when they were born. For example, a woman gives birth to a boy and her friend gives birth to a girl. She says to her, "I want to propose to your daughter, so do not marry her to anyone." This is what happened with Aisha. She was engaged to Jubair ibn Mut'im. She thought that when she grew up, she would marry him. Now we return to talking about our master Muhammad. One day, a woman named Kala came to him, and her job was to find wives for young men. Kala saw the sadness of the Messenger of God, so she decided to suggest that he look for a bride. When she suggested to him, he said, "Who can marry after Khadija?" But she insisted and said that he must get married so that he does not remain sad like this. So he was convinced and said to her, "Who do you suggest to me?" She said, "There is a widow named Sauda bint Zameh, and there is a single woman who is the daughter of the most beloved person to you." So he knew that she meant Aisha. Then the Messenger of God knew that the dream he had seen would come true. He said to her, "Go talk to their families." Kala went to talk to Aisha's family first. When she entered their house, she said to them, "I have great news for you. The Messenger of God wants to propose to Aisha." Imran was happy, but she remembered that her daughter was engaged, so she said to her, "Ask Abu Bakr." When she asked Abu Bakr, he said, "She is his brother's daughter. Is it permissible for him to marry her?" Abu Bakr was serious in his words because of his great love for the messenger. He saw him as his brother. Kala decided to go back to the Messenger of God and tell him what Abu Bakr had said. The messenger smiled and said to her, "Tell him that he is my brother in Islam and that his daughter is permissible for me." Abu Bakr was happy and agreed, but he was ashamed to go to his daughter's fiancé's house and tell him that he wanted to break off the engagement. Abu Bakr was encouraged and went to Jubair's house. When he arrived, he did not utter a single word. Then Jubair's father said to him, "We do not want your daughter, and we fear that our son will convert to Islam because of Aisha." Abu Bakr was very happy because he did not utter even a single word, and the engagement was easily broken off. He returned home and they told Aisha that she would be engaged to the Messenger of God. She got engaged when she was 6 years old and remained engaged for 3 years, and here I want to stop at this point. Why is everyone surprised at Aisha's age when she married, but no one mentions the European queens who married young and ruled the country? I have previously mentioned this matter in these shorts. Time has changed and the composition of our bodies, our sizes and everything around us has changed. If it were strange for him to marry a girl of this age, the first people to accuse him of being a rapist would be his enemies, the infidels. But there is no source that says that the infidels criticized him for marrying her at this age. I mean, it was normal at that time. Let's go back to our story. Aisha said that she was skinny, so her mother made her eat cucumbers with dates until she gained weight. She also said that the messenger used to visit their house daily and check on her. He loved sitting with her and listening to her jokes and interesting words. She was different from other mothers of the believers. She had a strong and intelligent personality and knew how to make the Messenger of God happy. Aisha was playing on the swing with her friends, and when her mother called her, she went the wrong way because she was spinning too much on the swing. She loved movement very much, so the messenger used to race with her. When she went to her mother, she told her that the messenger had paid her dowry and that she had become his wife. Aisha understood and went to wash her face. She entered the hall and found the women of the Ansar singing to her. They began to beautify her and prepare her for her party. If he was a rapist, would the women of the city accept his marriage to her and be happy for her? After preparing her, they called the messenger of God and he sat next to Aisha, and Aisha's face turned red from embarrassment. The messenger of God extended his hand to Aisha to give her a drink of milk. At that time, milk was like a bouquet of flowers in our time. After this, our mother Aisha did not complete the rest of the details. But she always wanted her relatives to get married in the month of Shawwal. Because it was the month of her marriage and it seemed that she lived the happiest days of her life at that time. She used to write poems about the month of Shawwal. The messenger of God loved her very much and she was able to make him forget his sadness. But despite his love for her, he used to tell her that he also loved Khadija very much, and he always distributed gifts to Khadija's friends because she loved them. This did not bother Aisha because polygamy was common at the time and was acceptable to everyone, not just Arabs. Aisha also related that one time she wanted to play a prank and make people fear for her, so she swapped her camel with one of the other wives of the messenger of God. The women were riding on camels and were inside a small tent, so no one could see them. In the middle of the journey, the messenger ordered that they bring Aisha's camel, but he was surprised that the passenger was not Aisha. When Aisha heard that she wasted this opportunity, it was an opportunity for a beautiful date with the messenger. She regretted and her prank failed. It is also known that Aisha was not skilled at cooking, so everyone avoided eating her food. Except the messenger of God, and he used to eat it and praise it. He was very nice to her. She used to tell her students about him with love, and the love was evident in her eyes. This is the story of their marriage in brief. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel.